Hey, Pastor Kevin here. It's May the 22nd, 2022, and today we're going to be talking about affective, apophatic spirituality. And when we're talking about affective, apophatic spirituality, uh, affective isn't so much of the heart meaning, but so much as the intuition, the listening, the perceiving in other ways, where the affective cataphatic or heart spirituality is a very extroverted, very feeling and almost very vocal type of experience of God. And so if you look down at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen here, um, apophatic mystery, union with the absolute, union with God in a very spiritual way, but not, it's actually much more holistic than the emotionally moving experience of the pietists on the bottom right. So these are the mystics. These are the contemplatives. They listen to God. They focus on the inner world of themselves. Where is God inside of me? How do I connect with the Christ who lives inside of me? So they turn inward for a strong experience of God. And for me, this is the other side of my spirituality. My top spirituality is at the top right hand, of course, the rational, the theological, but that gets tempered and moderated by the bottom left, which is when I look inside myself and start thinking about and just listening for the God who is within me. So for me, I bring these two types of theology or spirituality together in my own life. One of the gifts that type 3s bring to the church is that they were able to bring voice, bring expression, bring language to that experience of God within us. They're able to take on the top right the speculative cataphatic and bring it down to earth and bring it to the life of the believer and the life of the Christian, and especially the life of the searching person who's searching for the divine, because they're able to honestly interprets experiences of absence, that God is so ineffable, that God is so outside of ourselves, but also within ourselves, able to live with that paradox and experience and explain that paradox, that there's a tremendous giftedness with this spirituality type, this type 3, this mystic spirituality. But the danger, the shadow side of this type of spirituality, this mystic contemplative spirituality, is that they can get so focused on the inner life that they forget about the outer world. They get wrapped up in their own sense of God within themselves, that they forget that the other part of the Christian mandate is to express God in the world, in community with others. So quietism, introversion, in a negative sort of way, myself as an introvert, I understand this danger intimately. So forgetting about the outer world by focusing on the inner life. For me, most of my spiritual development was during my university years, and I really gravitated towards this type 3, this mystical spirituality, reading books from Thomas Merton, Julian of Norwich, all these contemplatives who were able to give voice to what I was experiencing. Even though I was also a strong one, the speculative cataphatic, I often mostly gravitated towards the type 3, the affective apophatic, or the mystery, the mysteriousness, the absence, the ritual, the narrative stuff that speaks to my own spirituality much more strongly than any of the other categories. What about you? Does this resonate with you? Does this give you kind of a language for how you experience God? Does this make you more comfortable with the unnameable, unknowable, ineffableness of God, the grandeur of God that lives both within and out into the world that you experience intuitively? Is this something that you bring into your own spirituality, your own life of faith? If so, leave a comment. How do you experience God in absence? On Wednesday, we're going to be talking about speculative apophatic, which is they call it a kingdom spirituality. I prefer to call it an activist spirituality.